So here is the starting grid for the Greek Grand Prix. Chris starts on pole for the second time this season, with Bali Pepe starting in second for the second race running. His teammate Baskete qualified brilliantly for P3, with Saif starting fourth, has his best qualifying position of the season so far. Nee starts fifth, with the Ferrari of Pikachu starting in sixth. Pika's has lonely teammate Piovana starts in 7th, with championship leader Razor Hyper starting 8th. He, along with Stealthy and Evan, all crashed in qualifying and wasn't able to set a representative time in the top 10 shootout, and on the final row is Lid Dennis again for Williams and VIP in 11th and 12th. Alright then, here comes the 5 lights ahead of the drivers, and away we go for the Greek Grand Prix. And it looks like Chris has got a good start there, ahead of the Audi of Near, who's already made up 3 positions here at the start. Near is going for the lead of the race early on. Here comes Near trying to go around the outside of Chris, but Chris defends the inside and stays in the lead. Near is pushing super hard to get this lead of the race. He's actually got ahead of Chris for the lead of the race. He's got the RS and he's blast past the Red Bull early on in this race. He's the only person who's starting on the medium compound, but that has worked very well for him indeed. He's now in the lead of the race and starting to pull away from the rest of the field, who have all started on the hard compound tyre. The chicane for the first of 27 times on this lap. Can everyone stay out of trouble? Oh, we see a Mercedes there who was a bit squirrely on the exit, but Near continues to lead, but Chris has managed to close down that gap between him and the Audi. Stealthy follows behind in 3rd. Here comes Near going through turn 4 and 5. Chris lurking behind. And on the inside of Near, trying to make a move possibly. Then through the banking, Near's just got much better grip than the Red Bull. He's obviously on the softer compound, but Chris is going to try to fight and take the lead here. On to lap 3. Here comes Chris. And he's trying to launch an attack on Near possibly, but Near stays ahead on the medium. This medium stint is going to be very crucial for Near to stay ahead and try to gain an advantage ahead of everyone. You can see he's actually dropping a few cars already, and the top 5 is starting to run away with it. So Near is still in the lead, but as you can see on the leaderboard, Pikachu and Piovana, the 2 Ferrari drivers for this week, are now 2 seconds apart. We can see Pika in the background hitting the wall and almost losing the front wing. Pika has now slightly dropped back to the becoming the front of the leading pack here. He's got quite a few cars behind him trying to hunt him down for 5th place at the moment. Going through the chicane, everyone's kept it clean, I think. Oh no! That's the Mercedes of Bali Pepe who's hit the wall. But he has driven off to the runoff, as we see the Haas almost crashing as well. The Haas of Saif. But Bali Pepe is now going to be out of this race and out after a brilliant qualifying for the Mercedes. As we go through the chicane, we've already had 1 casualty earlier and nearly becomes a second. Oh! That Razor Hyper, he's just smashed into the wall and nearly loses his front wing. Luckily for him, he's still in the race. He's actually had a very, very big hit into the wall, and somehow he doesn't even lose the front wing there. Participated in Qatar, he was fighting Dino for the lead. Oh no! Oh, he's almost lost his front wing again, as we see Evan in the other Audi has spun round, and oh my god, Piovana also loses the car and nearly crashes as well. absolute carnage out of the final chicane, and near Evan and Piovana, all three of them almost crashed there. So that now puts Pika up to third and Razor up to fourth. Near strategy is not working very well now, as he has to try and push and possibly overtake Pika here. Oh, that's the Aston Martin of VIP who has crashed, and that is definitely a safety car. Safety car, safety car. That car is crashed on track there. And Piovana has bolted out of the final chicane. Here we go then. Piovana takes the lead of the race, but he's the only person who has not pitted. Near in second. We thought he did have a good strategy, because he's gone for the medium tyre and then the hard tyre. Here he comes, and trying to make the move on Piovana. Sorry that I sounded like I just moaned there. Near now takes the lead, but look at the gaggle of cars behind him as well. Pikachu, Evan, and the Red Bull of Chris as well. Pikachu now dives round the outside to take the lead, but no, Near now takes the lead again, and Evan's now joining in the mix. I think Evan is ahead of Pika. It's now a Audi 1-2 out of absolutely nowhere, and Pikachu losing positions there. No, he's fighting with Christ. I just called him Christ, sorry. Look at the Audis fighting. Pika gets a very good exit there, then trying to launch an attack on Evan. He's actually just overtaken Chris, and he's also launching an attack on Pikachu. Here comes Stealthy. Evans has gone wide, and now Stealthy's in the lead of the race. That's incredible racing. But Pika's fighting back. There's Evan as well, going through to the final corner. Oh, they've kept it clean, and the top six have ran away with it, because I don't see anyone. Afterwards, there's Scythe, who is smashed into the wall, and that, I will imagine, is another safety car. Yes, it is another safety car. Scythe has absolutely crushed it into the wall at the final corner. Safety car window closes on lap 24. The start of lap 24, so 3 laps later. Oh, he's gone. Chris is gone. He's gone very early, Chris. So here he comes down the main straight now, I think. Yeah, here he is down the main straight, and he's gone very early. There's one of the, I think, Cass, who's gone very wide, I think. But Chris has gone early on the restart, and he now takes the lead. Remind them once again that the safety car window closes on lap 24, the beginning of 24. So, yeah, there's Chris, who's leading. Done a cheeky restart there. He went very, very early. I was barely into the pits when he went. But, oh, he's gone a bit wide. Careful, Chris. So he's now in the lead. Behind him, you've got the Audi of Evan, the McLaren of Stealthy, and the two chasing Ferraris of Pika and Piovana. Razor is down in 6th at the moment. And then we've got Basketic, Near, Lit Dennis, and Fireblade for the 10 drivers remaining in the race. Oh my goodness! And oh my god, Evan almost lost the car there. Remind the drivers for these final 2 laps not to cut the chicane. So Stealthy is still in the lead, but he's trying really hard to hold on to it. But Razor says no, because Razor now takes the lead. So I thought it would have been a grandstand finish, but I think Razor might be able to run away with this. So Stealthy, he was doing very solidly, but now he has once again lost the lead, and it's Razor who didn't really do much for the majority of the race, stuck in 4th and 5th, has now popped up to the lead of the race. Meanwhile, Chris, who was fighting for the lead and leading for most of the race, is now down to 9th and trying to overtake Fireblade for 8th and take the fastest lap as well. We are on to the final lap, and you can see Stealthy attacking Razor Hyper. Now Stealthy's got a bit of a fuel advantage from the data that is shown to me. Stealthy can go to the hot lap fuel mix until the end of the race. Stealthy, Razor loses the back end of the car, and Stealthy now takes the lead of the race. Who would have thought? Stealthy, you thought he lost his chances when he got overtaken by Razor, but no, he's still fighting back. Razor is also fighting back. And this final sector is going to be very crucial, but before that we go through this fast flowing section where it could be make or break, and try not to get a bump. There's Evan, who I think got a bump, and whoa, Razor and Stealthy combating for the lead of the race. Don't cut the chicane, guys. We're going to the final corner. Stealthy gets a much better exit. Oh, one of the Ferraris have flown, and Stealthy wins. Oh my flipping hell. Stealthy absolutely flies off the final corner as he wins the Greek Grand Prix. Razor takes 2nd, ahead of Evan in 3rd. Audi finishes 3rd and 4th. Pikachu absolutely binned it on the final corner, and Chris finishes down in 8th, albeit he takes the fastest lap, but that is little consolation for the man who was leading for most of the race.
After that exciting Greece race, Stealthy takes home a full 25 points from McLaren, followed by Razor Hyper, the championship leader for Brawn. Audi Sport had a good race with Evan in P3 and me in P4. Pico finishes P5, Basketing finishes 6th after being promoted with 1 5-second penalty for cutting the track. Chris lost on the 3rd last lap, had to settle for 8th, followed by Fireblade for 9th, and let Dennis runs up the top 10. As for the Drivers' Championship, Razor remains in the lead and extends his lead to Chris in 2nd, followed by Evan up to 3rd after finishing a solid P3 today. Stealthy, who won the races, up 3 positions to 4th. Pika stays in 5th, Roms is down to 6th, who didn't attend Greece is down to 7th, E is up to 8th, Vegas and Bali Pepe both drop 1 place to 9th and 10th. As for the constructors, Brawn is now up to 1st, with Ferrari following up to 2nd. Red Bull drops 2 places down to 3rd. Audi Sport goes up to 4th. Aston Martin drops down to 5th. McLaren, after winning this race, goes up to 6th. Mercedes drops to 7th. Williams stays in 8th, and Haas and Alfa Romeo swap positions for 9th and 10th.